Today, welcome to the English Eve podcast, where English meets real life. I'm Sophia, and today's topic is Build Discipline Without Stress. In this episode, you'll discover how small, steady routines can change your daily life. You'll hear stories about health, emotions, and growth, so you can build habits that actually last. We've all had that moment. You set a goal, maybe to wake up early, maybe to eat better. Day 1 feels exciting. Day 2 feels harder. By day 5, the bed is too warm, the fridge too tempting, and you think, maybe I'm just not disciplined. But here's the truth. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about building slowly, with kindness. Stay until the end to download the transcript and practice exercises. They'll be super valuable for you. Jason, thanks for joining us. You're a coach. Do you ever lose discipline yourself?
Oh, all the time. People think coaches never struggle, but that's not true. I once promised myself to run every morning at 6 a.m. The first 3 days were great. By day 4, I snoozed 5 times. I lay in bed thinking, so much for being a role model.
That sounds familiar. Beds in the morning have a magnetic pull, right?
Exactly. That's when I learned discipline is like building muscle. You can't start with the heaviest weight. You start light and add little by little.
So instead of forcing yourself, you build gradually.
Yes. For example, I tell clients, don't try to run 5 miles if you've never jogged. Just walk around the block once. That's your first rep.
I like that word, rep. 1 repetition at a time.
Exactly. And each rep makes it easier the next day.
What about food? I know many listeners struggle with self-control at the dinner table.
Oh yes. I had a client who loved chocolate cake. She felt guilty every time she ate it. I told her, cake isn't the enemy. The habit is the key. Instead of 3 slices, start with 1. Then, enjoy it slowly.
It's not about punishment. It's about awareness.
That feels kinder. Discipline with compassion, not shame.
Yes. And when you treat yourself with kindness, you build trust with yourself. Trust grows discipline.
Let's pause for a challenge. Listeners, think of 1 habit you want to build. Maybe drinking more water or reading for 10 minutes. Now, shrink it to the smallest version possible.
Yes. If you want to drink more water, start with 1 extra sip at breakfast. If you want to read, start with 1 page.
Say this phrase with us. Small is enough today.
Beautiful. That sentence removes pressure. It turns discipline into something gentle.
Peace-in. Emotions often get in the way of routines. When people feel stressed, they skip the gym or order fast food. How do you see that?
I see emotions as traffic lights. Green is energy, yellow is stress, red is exhaustion. The mistake is trying to drive full speed at every light. Sometimes discipline means slowing down.
That's a strong image. So when the light is red, you pause, but you don't abandon the road.
Exactly. I remember a time when I was exhausted after a long flight. My plan was to do a full workout, but my body said red light. So instead, I stretched for 5 minutes and went to bed early. The next day, I had the energy for a great workout. That's discipline too, adjusting without quitting.
That makes me think. Many of us punish ourselves for breaking routines. But maybe a small action is still a success.
Yes, a tiny action on a hard day is a victory.
Let's give another practice moment. Friends, close your eyes if you can. Picture a traffic light. What color is it for you right now? Green, yellow, or red?
If it's green, smile and take a step forward. If it's yellow, slow down and choose a gentle action. If it's red, rest, and know that rest is part of the journey.
That's powerful. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep moving when you can and resting when you must.
Discipline is not a whip, it's a friend. It whispers, take one step, then another.
I love that. And listeners, remember, even one sip of water, one page of a book, or one stretch in your living room is a step.
Exactly. And every step builds muscle.
So today, write down one small habit and shrink it until it feels laughably easy. That's your start.
And tomorrow, you'll feel stronger because you kept the promise.
That's how discipline grows. Not in giant leaps, but in tiny, steady steps. Jason, I love how you said discipline is a friend, but sometimes that friend doesn't show up. You set a goal, and by day 3, your motivation is gone.
Oh, yes. Motivation is like fireworks. Bright at the start, then quickly gone. That's why we can't depend on motivation alone.
So, what takes its place?
Willpower. Think of motivation as the spark, and willpower as the steady flame. Motivation says, let's start. Willpower says, let's continue.
I see. Like lighting a stove. The spark starts the fire, but the gas keeps it burning.
Exactly. But here's the secret. Willpower is not endless. It's strongest early in the day. That's why I tell people, do the hardest task first, when your mind is fresh.
That makes so much sense. If I wait until midnight to clean the kitchen, my willpower is long gone.
Same here. Once I tried to write my workout plan at night. I ended up scrolling memes instead. Now I plan in the morning.
Memes are a strong opponent.
Yes. Memes always win after 10 p.m.
But let's be honest. Even with willpower, there are weak moments. What do we do then?
That's where little rewards help. For example, after finishing a tough workout, I let myself enjoy a square of dark chocolate. It's small, but it feels like a pat on the back.
I like that. Reward yourself. Don't punish yourself.
Exactly. Rewards train your brain to enjoy discipline.
So, discipline isn't just serious and strict. It can also be playful.
Yes, think of it like a game. Each habit you complete gives you points. Small points add up to big victories.
Let's do a mini challenge with our listeners. Friends, think of one habit you want to keep. Now imagine a small reward you'll give yourself when you do it. Maybe a cup of tea, a walk outside, or listening to your favorite song.
Say this with us. I earn joy when I act.
That feels good, right? It changes the mood.
Yes, it turns discipline from heavy to light.
Jason, this reminds me of the marshmallow test. Kids could eat 1 marshmallow now, or wait and get 2. Discipline is really about waiting for better results.
True, but waiting doesn't mean suffering. It means choosing long-term flavor over short-term sugar.
I love that. Long-term flavor. So even when the quick choice feels sweet, the better choice is richer.
Exactly. I had a client who wanted to buy a new gadget right away. Instead, he saved for a family trip. Later he said, "The trip gave me stories. The gadget would have given me dust."
That's such a strong line. Stories, not dust. Let's pause for another practice moment. Listeners, think of one area where you want long-term flavor. Maybe your health, your learning, or your relationships. Whisper to yourself, I choose the better taste.
Yes. And next time you face a choice, remember that phrase.
It's simple, but it shifts the mind.
Exactly. Discipline is not about saying no forever. It's about saying yes to what truly lasts.
That's hope, not pressure.
Right. Discipline should always bring hope.
Jason, you've compared discipline to muscles, to flavor, even to traffic lights. I love these images. But I wonder, what if we think of discipline as a journey?
That's my favorite picture. Every day is like walking on a path. Some parts are smooth, others have rocks or hills. But as long as you keep walking, you move forward.
I like that. Many people expect discipline to feel like flying, fast, powerful, no effort. But in reality, it's walking, step by step.
Exactly. And the danger is when people trip once and think the journey is over. But a trip is just one step, not the whole road.
That's so true. I remember when I tried meditation. Day 1 felt amazing. Day 2 felt boring. By day 5, I missed a session and thought, well, I failed. But really, it was just a stone on the road.
Right. A missed step doesn't erase the path. The road is still there tomorrow.
That's encouraging. So the key is to forgive yourself and keep walking.
Yes. Forgiveness fuels discipline. Without it, guilt makes you stop. With it, you keep moving.
But what about distractions along the road? Phones, snacks, endless TV, all those shiny signs saying, "Turn here."
Oh yes, the side roads. I once promised myself a 30-minute walk. 10 minutes in, I saw a bakery. The smell was calling me. I thought, maybe today is a pastry journey.
Did you buy one?
Of course I did. But here's the thing. I didn't call it failure. I enjoyed the pastry, then finished my walk. That day had both pastry and progress.
That's a great story. It shows balance. You can have joy and still stay on the road.
Exactly. If you only see discipline as strict, you'll quit. If you see it as flexible, you'll continue.
Let's guide our listeners in a little exercise. Friends, picture a road in your mind. See yourself walking. There might be stones, maybe even rain, but you are still moving.
Now say out loud, "I walk again tomorrow."
That phrase is gentle and powerful. It means the road never ends, and you never fail by pausing.
Yes, tomorrow is always another step.
Jason, do you ever feel like discipline is lonely?
Sometimes. But then I remember, roads are shared. Even if you walk alone today, others are on their own paths too. That thought gives me strength.
That's beautiful. And sometimes, walking together makes the road easier.
Yes, I once had a friend who joined me for short morning walks. We laughed, shared stories, and suddenly the habit became light. Community is like walking side by side.
That's inspiring. Discipline isn't a solo punishment. It's a shared journey. Friends, here's your challenge tonight. Write down one small step you'll take tomorrow. Not 10, not 5, just 1. Then, whisper to yourself before bed, "I will walk again tomorrow."
And when tomorrow comes, take that step, no matter how small. You'll see the road grow under your feet.
Step by step, the journey becomes your story. Jason, you just mentioned a community on the road, but sometimes the hardest part of the journey isn't the stones or the distance. It's the stress we carry inside.
That's so true. Stress is like heavy luggage. You can keep walking, but every step feels harder.
I know that feeling. After a long workday, even cooking dinner feels like climbing a mountain.
Exactly. And when we're stressed, we look for shortcuts. Junk food, endless scrolling, binge-watching shows. It's our brain saying, I need comfort.
But those shortcuts don't really help, do they?
Number. They give quick relief, like candy on the road. Sweet for a moment, but not real energy. I learned this last year when I was overloaded with clients. I'd come home and eat chips, thinking it would calm me. Instead, I felt heavier, not better.
So what did you do?
I started with small swaps. Instead of chips, I went for a 10-minute walk. Instead of watching 3 hours of TV, I called a friend for 10 minutes. These little choices didn't erase stress, but they lightened the bag.
That's encouraging. You didn't change everything, just the weight you carried.
Right. And sometimes the best step is to stop and rest. Rest isn't quitting. Rest is sharpening your tools for the next part of the road.
Let's give our listeners a small exercise. Friends, close your eyes if you can. Picture yourself carrying a backpack. Inside are your worries and stress. Feel the weight. Now, imagine taking out one heavy stone. Maybe your phone notifications, or one guilty thought, and setting it down.
As you do that, whisper, I walk lighter.
That's a simple phrase, but it feels freeing.
Yes, and the lighter you feel, the more likely you'll keep moving.
I love how you frame rest. So many people see it as a weakness.
That's the trap. We live in a world that glorifies pushing, pushing, pushing. But no runner sprints forever. Muscles need recovery. The mind does too.
Do you remember a time when rest changed your discipline?
Absolutely. I once planned to run every day for 30 days. By day 10, my legs were screaming. I felt guilty, but I skipped one day to stretch and sleep. The next day, I ran farther and stronger than before. That pause saved the challenge.
That's powerful. Rest didn't break the journey. It extended it.
Exactly. Without that pause, I would have quit at day 12.
Friends, think about your own routines. Are you pushing too hard without space to breathe? Maybe tonight, give yourself permission to rest, but rest with intention. Not mindless scrolling, but real recovery.
Yes. Write in a journal, stretch, take a warm shower, or simply breathe deeply for 2 minutes. These are real forms of rest.
And when you do, remember, discipline is not about burning out. It's about balance.
Balance keeps the road open. Stress and rest must work together. Too much stress, you collapse. Too much rest, you stall. Balance keeps you steady.
And steady is enough. Jason, everything you've shared makes me think of one common mistake. People believe discipline means being perfect every day.
Yes, that's the biggest myth. Perfection is like chasing the horizon. You'll never reach it. But progress, that's real.
I like that. So instead of asking, was I perfect today? We can ask, did I move forward today?
Exactly. I tell my clients, even 1 centimeter on the road is progress. If you walked 1 block, you still walked. If you drank 1 glass of water instead of soda, that's a win.
That takes the pressure off, because the fear of failure often stops people before they even start.
Right. I once coached a man who wanted to run 5 kilometers every morning. Day 1, he made it 1 kilometer and felt like a failure. I told him, you just ran farther than yesterday. That's progress.
A month later, he was doing 3 kilometers. He smiled and said, "I'm not perfect, but I'm stronger."
That's inspiring. And it shows how small wins build confidence.
Yes, confidence is like interest on savings. It grows when you keep making small deposits.
Let's turn that into a practice for our listeners. Friends, think back on your day. What's one small deposit you made? Maybe you took the stairs. Maybe you studied one new word. Maybe you smiled at someone.
Now say out loud, "This is my progress."
That feels good, doesn't it? Simple, but powerful.
Yes, progress is fuel, and when you collect these small wins, you feel stronger to continue.
Jason, do you ever celebrate these small wins yourself?
Oh yes. Last week, I resisted buying a giant pizza late at night. Instead, I made a sandwich. The next morning, I woke up proud. I told myself, that was discipline in action.
A sandwich never tasted so victorious.
Exactly. That sandwich carried me like a medal.
And that's the point. Victories don't need fireworks. They can be quiet, even funny.
Yes, quiet progress builds strong discipline.
Friends, tonight's challenge is simple. Before bed, write one sentence. Today, I moved forward because... Fill in the blank with your small win.
Keep those notes. After a week, read them all. You'll see proof that you are growing.
That's such a beautiful practice. Step by step, note by note, progress becomes visible.
And visible progress becomes motivation for the next day.
So let's end this part with hope. Discipline is not a prison. It's a path of progress. You don't need perfection. You only need one step forward.
And tomorrow, you take another. That's how discipline becomes a life.
Jason, we've walked through muscles, traffic lights, flavor, and journeys. If you had to leave our listeners with one final message about discipline, what would it be?
I'd say this. Discipline is not about force. It's about friendship with yourself. When you treat yourself with kindness, you'll stay on the path much longer.
That's beautiful. Too many people see discipline like a whip, but you're saying it's more like a guiding hand.
Exactly. Think of it like gardening. You don't yell at a plant to grow. You water it, give it sunlight, and trust the process.
I love that. And every small action is like water or sunlight. Even one page read, one stretch, one deep breath.
Yes, and here's the best part. Discipline creates freedom. The more you care for your habits, the more energy and peace you have for life.
That's hope, not pressure.
Right. And hope makes discipline sustainable.
Let's leave our listeners with a mini challenge. Friends, tonight, choose one small action that feels like watering your plant. It could be drinking one glass of water, or turning off your phone 10 minutes earlier, or writing one kind word in a notebook.
And when you do it, whisper, "I'm growing slowly, but I'm growing."
That's gentle, but powerful.
Yes. And if you miss a day, remember, a garden can handle one dry afternoon. Growth continues tomorrow.
Jason, thank you for sharing your stories, your humor, and your wisdom.
My pleasure, Sophia. Discipline is a journey we all share, and I hope our listeners feel less pressure and more hope today.
And to all of you listening, remember, progress is enough. Small steps create lasting growth. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to keep moving gently.
Because in the end, discipline isn't about control. It's about building a life that feels alive.
Stay until the end to download the transcript and practice exercises. They'll be super valuable for you. And Keep this sentence in your heart. I'm growing slowly, but I'm growing.